Alrighty, boys. Time to show you my Mercedes, my E55. The reason I'm going to do this video is for two specific reasons. Well, three actually. One's for myself before I modify this thing. We got more mods coming on it. And second of all, just show you the condition that the vehicle's in and let y'all know I'm still robbing the piss out of it. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Sadly, I don't get to drive it as much as I used to with my family. Well, I don't really get to drive with my family at all. It's more of a solo thing nowadays. Or for whatever reason, me and my wife could get out sometime with one or two kids. We'll definitely take the opportunity to drive this thing. It has 130,000 miles, rounded off on 131. Absolutely love this vehicle. We drive it, have no intentions of selling it. Let's mute this thing down. It's still in great shape. Someone that's looking into buying one of these, it just depends what you're into. And here's what I want to underline. If you're into the high horsepower classical, I guess you call it classical vehicles, absolutely a really good buy for the money. Just can't complain about much, you know what I mean? Like, the car runs phenomenal. It's a little windy outside. I'll pull this thing inside. I don't know why I'm checking the oil at a slant, but anyways, as you can tell, it says okay. I don't know how Mercedes did it, and I don't know what's up with this engine, but it does not burn oil. I mean, I drive the piss out of it. It's only 1,500 miles on its oil change, but still, I mean, it's a very high-stress engine. This thing's pushing 650 to the crank horses, and then 750 torque. I could not be happier than I am with this vehicle. I mean, for the money, you just can't go bad. Like, you can't go wrong. A little sneak peek what I'm going to be doing. It's not a sneak peek. I'm just being upfront with y'all. What am I going to be doing with this vehicle? I'll be adding a quite a bit smaller supercharger. Talking to my tuner, he's saying 72 millimeters, as small as I could go. Figuring the fact that I don't want to do any more mods than what I'm going to be doing here in about a month. I got the parts all ordered up. So a 72 millimeter supercharger pulley, a 92 millimeter throttle body, 630 injectors, Bosch injectors, and a bigger tank reservoir. So that should put me a little over 700 horse. I mean, doing their calculations, it's like 75, 80 horsepower, but I don't think so. I'll just shoot for 50 horse. So if I get 50 horse out of this thing, you know, get it right there at 700 horsepower, probably about 800 torque, I'll be very happy with it. I'll be content. And I feel like at that point, it's going to be the optimal daily setup. I mean, as much as you can push out of a vehicle. As far as track and things go, I should probably add more coolers and killer chillers, but for a daily cruiser, you know, doing a couple pulls on the road, you know, going to the drag strip once in a while, if I wanted to, I could do that. I feel like with a little reservoir, I could put ice in there and it'll be great. Right now, I got a stock lower pulley, and I got a 77 millimeter up here. Let me zoom out for y'all. This is a 77 millimeter supercharger pulley. Good pulley, no issues whatsoever with it. Car's been running pretty well. I think my O2 sensors are getting a little tired. It does run a little rough, but it's a story for another time. I ended up putting new coils, new wires, new plugs on this thing. It pulls consistently. I had an issue with high top end misfire. I was thinking either fuel being the injectors issue, getting dirty or not big enough, or my plugs, and my plugs did turn out to be worn out at 30,000 miles. That's how much time I had them. I might be running a little lean on top. It is what it is. My tuner said I'd be fine with stock injectors and a loop fuel rail, but I'm feeling a little itchy about it. So I'm definitely going to put 730 injectors, a smaller pulley, a bigger, much bigger throttle body. My throttle body should have been updated a long time ago. So I've went through a really hard time in my personal life. Well, it's not personal, it's business. That affected me so much. So I've committed to keeping a good balance between investing in my company and investing and myself and my hobbies. Decided for the next year I'll be entertaining myself with this vehicle, and then later on, most likely it's just going to get stored in my shop on a 4-post lift, really. I do not want to sell this, and if I'll do everything I can to keep, I have the space to keep it, so I'm thinking of putting one, maybe 2 4-post lifts so I could store 4 vehicles there. Next vehicle is either, I guess I'm going to spill the beans, either it's going to be a 2-door sports car. I really got my eye on another GT350, a Shelby GT350. We'll see. I really want to get the Heritage Edition. If I get my hands on a Heritage Edition, I'll definitely buy one. Either the GT350, I know some of you guys are going to get real divided here, or the Z06 C7. I don't really find the drift with the C8. Maybe it'll grow on me later, but for now I'd like to get a C7 or go into an exotic. That's as far as my 2-door sports car. My next 4-door vehicle is going to be an E63. So either my next vehicle is going to take this spot is going to be the 2-door sports car or an E63. Whichever goes, then 2 years down the road is going to be the other one. So it is what it is, and it is how it is. So I'm just being upfront with you guys. For the new guys curious what kind of mods I got a bigger stock mounted, location mounted intercooler, and then I got an additional little guy. I guess this is all I could do for cooling. I could jam, I think, another cooler in there. I think the oil cooler's there, so I guess I could probably fit something in there, but I didn't want to go that route. I feel like this is a really good setup, minus the throttle body. I should have updated the throttle body, but since, like an 83 or 85, but now that I'm going much smaller pulley, I'm definitely going to go with the 92 Hellcat throttle body. Definitely a lot more fuel. 630s are good size injectors, and a reservoir probably in that spot. Well, not probably. I ordered one for that spot. We'll see how it is. If I don't like the way it's going to fit, I'll do a tank, in the trunk. But I don't really want to touch the trunk. I want to keep it as daily as possible. And you start having, ice boxes in the trunk of a regular car, you're really pushing it. I feel like I'm pushing it with adding another tank there. I really like how this looks all original, minus this little thing. Anyways, boys, I know some of you guys wanted me to complain about it. My gripes, just like anyone else would know, about the air suspension. I think my front right's starting to go. My rear are new. My fronts were replaced about 6 years ago, and I guess 6 years later I got to do it. That's probably about 70,000 miles later. I got to do the front strut again. But anyways, I couldn't be happier. It's not a big issue. As far as problems go, I don't have any issues, guys. My fuel relay went out one day a couple years ago or a year ago, whatever that was. That's it. Self-inflicted. I did destroy the rear diff, not from burnouts, but it fell off of a jack stand and knocked the oil out of the rear diff. If you mechanical guys know how it is. And that's it. Didn't take much. Started whining. If I would have known, I probably would have found a way to sit there and turn the wheel so we get the diffs throwing some oil to the front carrier pinion bearing. But that's about it. I mean, I haven't had any issues. I've had issues with tuning, and I need to confess and say that it was a mixture of things, but end of the day, the tuning wasn't anything that as far off as my vehicle was performing. Biggest thing was my supercharger belt was slipping, even though I had a wrap coolant got on it, and it's picky, man. If you ever get any coolant on a supercharger belt, just go buy another one. Be very careful. Make sure no liquids get on these supercharger belts. Stay on top of your ignition system. You should be good. Thank God this vehicle has been a blessing to me. It was my family vehicle for a long time until this Escalade took over. But yeah, man, it's great. I want to clay bar it, do a little bit more paint protection on it. I've been neglecting that part of it. And yeah, I went out last night, had a lot of fun with it. Ended up burning like half a tank of fuel, plus it was a little bit more than half a tank of fuel. Had a lot of fun with my buddy Rob, and I'm just surprised this thing doesn't burn oil. And it's a good thing, believe me. For you guys curious, I mean, it's all black and oil in there, no sludge buildup, nothing. So thank God for everything. God bless you guys, and may y'all have a mighty fine day. Ciao, bye.